It's day 33 of reading through the scriptures. We're going to start in Genesis chapter 33. And Yaakov lifted his eyes and looked and saw Esau coming, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the two female servants. And he put the female servants and their children in front, and Leah and her children behind, and Rachel and Joseph last. And he himself passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted his eyes and saw the women and children and said, "Who are these with you?" And he said, "The children with whom Elohim has favored your servant." Okay, gotta change the page. Then the female servants came near, they and their children, and bowed themselves. And Leah also came near with her children, and they bowed themselves. And Joseph and Rachel came near and bowed themselves. Then Esau said, "What do you mean by all this company which I met?" And he said, "To find favors in the eyes of my master." But Esau said, "I have enough, my brother. Let what you have remain yours." And Yaakov said, "No, please, if I have now found favor in your eyes, then receive my present from my hand, because I have seen your face like seeing the face of Elohim, and you are pleased with me. Please take my blessing that is brought to you, because Elohim has favored me, and because I have all I need." And he urged, and he took it. And he said, "Let us depart and go, and let me go before you." But he said to him, "My master knows that the children are weak, and the flocks and herds which are nursing are with me. And if the men should drive them hard one day, all the flocks shall die. Please let my master go before his servant, and let me lead on slowly according to the pace of the livestock that go before me, and according to the pace of the children, until I come to my master in Seir." And Esau said, "Please let me leave with you some of the people who are with me." But he said, "Why this? Let me find favor in the eyes of my master." And Esau returned that day on his way to Seir. And Yaakov set out to Succoth, and built himself a house, and made booths for his livestock. That is why the name of the place is called Succoth. And Yaakov came safely to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Paddan Aram. And he pitched his tent before the city. And he bought the portion of the field where he had pitched his tent from the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 keseta. And he set up a slaughter place there and called it El Elohei Yisrael. Okay, the next chapter is Isaiah chapter 33. "Woe to you, ravager, while you have not been ravaged, and you treacherous, while they have not betrayed you. When you have ceased ravaging, you shall be ravaged. And when you stop betraying, they shall betray you. O Yahweh, show us favor, for we have waited on you. Be their arm every morning, our deliverance also in time of distress. At the noise of the rumbling, the people shall flee. When you lift yourself up, the nations shall be scattered. And your plunder shall be gathered like the gathering of a caterpillar. As locusts rush about, they rush upon them. Yahweh is exalted, for he dwells on high. He has filled Zion with right ruling and righteousness. And he shall be the trustworthiness of your times, a wealth of deliverance, wisdom and knowledge. The fear of Yahweh, that is his treasure. See, their brave ones shall cry outside, the messengers of peace weep bitterly. The highways shall be deserted, the wayfaring man shall have ceased. He has broken the covenant, he has despised the cities, he respected no man. The earth shall mourn and languish, Lebanon shall be ashamed. Sharon shall be withered like a desert, and Bashan and Carmel will be shaking. Now I rise up, declares Yahweh, now I am exalted, now I am lifted up. You conceive chaff, you bring forth stubble, your spirit devours you like fire. And people shall be like the burnings of lime, like thorns cut up, they are burned in the fire. You who are afar off, hear what I shall do, and you who are near, know my might. Sinners in Zion shall be afraid, trembling shall grip the defiled ones. Who of us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who of us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? He who walks righteously and speaks what is straight, he who rejects the gain of oppressions, he who keeps his hands from accepting bribes, who stops his ears from hearing of bloodshed, and shuts his eyes from seeing evil. He shall inhabit the heights, strongholds of rocks be his refuge. His bread shall be given him, his water be steadfast. Your eyes shall see the sovereign in his comeliness, see a land that is far off. Your heart ponders fear. Where is the scribe? Where is he who weighs? Where is he who counts the towers? No longer shall you see a fierce people, a people of too deep a lip to hear, of jabbering tongue no one understands. See Zion, the city of our appointed time. Your eyes shall see Jerusalem, an undisturbed home, a tent not taken down. Its stakes are never moved, nor any of its cords broken. But there, great is Yahweh for us, a place of broad rivers, streams in which no boat with oar sails, nor big ships pass by. For Yahweh is our judge, Yahweh is our inscriber, Yahweh is our sovereign. He saves us. Your ropes shall be slack. They do not strengthen their mast. They shall not spread the sail. Then the prey of great plunder shall be divided. The lame shall take their prey. Neither shall the inhabitants say, I am sick. The people who dwell in it is forgiven their crookedness. Psalm 33. Shout for joy in Yahweh, you righteous. Praise is fitting for the straight. Praise Yahweh with the lyre. Sing to him with an instrument of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play sweetly with a shout of joy, for the word of Yahweh is straight, and all his works are in truth. Loving righteousness and right ruling, the earth is filled with the loving commitment of Yahweh. By the word of Yahweh the heavens were made, and all their host by the spirit of his mouth. Gathering the waters of the sea together as a heap, laying up the deep in storehouses. Let all the earth fear Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spoke and it came to be. He commanded and it stood fast. Yahweh brings the counsel of the nations to naught, to nothingness. He thwarts the plans of the people. The counsel of Yahweh stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose Elohim is Yahweh, the people whom he has chosen as his own inheritance. Yahweh has looked from the heavens. He has seen all the sons of men. He looked from his dwelling place on all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions the hearts of them all, he who understands all their works. The sovereign is not saved by the multitude of an army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain means of safety, neither does it rescue any by its great power. See, the eye of Yahweh is on those fearing him, on those waiting for his loving commitment. Sorry, page change. To deliver their being from death, and to keep them alive during scarcity of food. Our being has longed for Yahweh. Our help and our shield is he. For our heart does rejoice in him, for we have put our trust in his set-apart name. Let your loving commitment, O Yahweh, be upon us, even as we wait for you. And they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes. And when he came out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. And no one was able to bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains, but the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces, and no one was able to tame him. And continually, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. And seeing Yeshua from a distance, he ran and bowed down to him, and having called out with a loud voice, said, What have I to do with you, Yeshua, the Son of the Most High El? Swear to Elohim not to torture me. For he had said to him, "Come out of the man, unclean spirit." And he was asking him, "What is your name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, because we are many." And he begged him very much that he would not send them out of the country. Now a great herd of pigs was there, feeding near the mountains. And all the demons begged him, saying, "Send us to the pigs, so that we enter into them." And he gave them permission. And the unclean spirits came out and entered into the pigs. They were about 2,000, and the herd rushed down the steep place into the sea and drowned in the sea. And those who fed the pigs fled and reported it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what had taken place. So they came to Yeshua and saw the demon-possessed one, him who had the legion, sitting and dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And all those who saw it related to them what was done to the demon-possessed one and about the pigs. And they began to plead with him to leave their borders. And as he was entering into the boat, he who had been demon-possessed begged him that he might be with him. But Yeshua did not allow him, but said, "Go home to your friends, report to them what the Master has done for you, and how he had compassion on you." And he left and began to proclaim in Decapolis all that Yeshua had done for him, and all marveled. And when Yeshua had passed over again by boat to the other side, a large crowd assembled to him, and he was by the sea. And one of the rulers of that congregation came, Yair by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet and begged him strongly, saying, "My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come, lay your hands on her to heal her, and she shall live." And he went with him, and a large crowd was following him, and they were thronging him. And a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years, and had suffered much from many physicians, and spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather became worse. Having heard about Yeshua, she came behind him in the crowd, and touched his garment. For she said, "If I only touch his garment, I shall be made well." And immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And immediately Yeshua, knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd and said, "Who touched my garments?" And his taught one said to him, "You see the crowd is thronging you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" And he was looking around to see her who did this. And the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done to her, came and fell down before him and spoke to him all the truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, your belief has healed you. Go in peace and be relieved from your affliction." And as he was speaking, they came from the ruler of the congregation's house, saying to him, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" But having heard the word that was spoken, Yeshua said to the ruler of the congregation, "Do not be afraid, only believe." And he allowed no one to follow him except Kepha and Yaakov and Yochanan, the brother of Yaakov. So they came to the house of the ruler of the congregation, and saw a commotion, and much weeping and lamenting. And coming in, he said to them, "Why make this commotion and weep? The child has not died, but is sleeping." And they were laughing at him. And when he had put them all out, he took the father and the mother of the child, and those who were with him, and went in where the child was lying. And taking the child by the hand, he said to her, "Talitha kumi," which is translated, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl rose up and was walking, for she was 12 years old. And they were completely astonished. But he ordered them many times that no one should know it, and said that she should be given food to eat. This passage always makes me wonder, was this more of a resuscitation or an actual, she was dead and he rose her up? But it really doesn't matter. They felt she was dead. They were going to treat her as dead, and he healed her and brought her back to life. So that's really exciting. And I want to talk about these pigs. I don't believe Messiah could have sent those into a clean animal, the demons, but only into an unclean animal like pigs, because I don't think it would have been righteous to kill off a herd of pigs, or a herd of clean animals like sheep or goats or cows. But with pigs, it's very clear to me that Messiah never intended for his followers to be eating pigs, or he wouldn't have killed them. Tell me in the comments what you think about any of these verses.